and welcome to this episode of The Unnoticed Entrepreneur with me here, Jim James, in actually the rather slow seat because I'm going across to Woking to talk to Paul Teasdale, who used to work for Mclaren F1 team. So he's going to rev us up. Paul, welcome to the show.
Thanks for the introduction, Jim. Pleasure to be here. I point people towards this high-performance world that they are aware of and often feel is way beyond their reach. And I help them to understand the principles and the ways of working, the methodologies that are in play there that make it accessible so that they can apply those principles for themselves so that they can then accelerate their own performance.
What is the secret of a McLaren when it comes to them being a high-performance team?
Distill it into one sense, that's it. Focus, I think, is the critical piece. What you've got in that world in general, but within that team, is you've got a singular focus for what everybody is driving towards. If what you're doing today isn't driving towards getting that car to be as fast and as easily drivable and as maximizing the points that it can possibly get, if what you're doing doesn't relate to that, you don't do it. It is very much a case of, as any solopreneur, anyone who's going out there, you've got to recognize, and maybe it's something I didn't really recognize until I got into this industry myself, is people don't know you. And if people don't know you, like you, and trust you, then they're not going to do business with you. So the first point of call is to get them to know you. And in order to do that, I can use the value that has already been built in the world of F1 and the brand of Mclaren without being disingenuous. And that's the bit that's critical to me. I'm not Mclaren. I'm not bringing Mclaren to you. I'm bringing Paul Teasdale's experience of working in that world. I mean, I've got two of these polo shirts that I have on rotation. One's getting washed while the other one's being worn. It has its advantages, and I've started to see the advantages from a brand recognition piece. And when out and about, people see your name, that's great. It started off more practical for me in the classic sort of Mark Zuckerberg, what am I going to wear when I'm out there? I don't have to make that decision anymore. I've got my uniform already sorted out. And it also brings consistency when I'm recording podcasts, when I'm doing podcast hosting as well, all that sort of stuff. So people get consistency of that brand as when they see me, they tend to see me online anyway, wearing this in this background. And that's you start to get to know and trust the brand on that front.
Now, this was just a 2-minute trailer for a full 20-minute show. The show will be dropping into your feed in the next day or so. So do look out for it and do enjoy it, share it, and review it. Thanks for listening to this trailer of The Unnoticed Entrepreneur.